Hi, everybody. I am Kevin Ioli from Yahoo Sports, and my next guest is one of the best in the world, the UFC's Bantamweight champion. You will see him on Saturday, August 4th, in what should be a fantastic fight, headlining at Staples Center against his arch rival, Cody Garbrandt. Of course, it's the champ, TJ Dillashaw. How are you, TJ?
Doing great, man. Can't complain. Life is good.
Yeah, you probably had the best end of 2017 that anybody could have had. You knock out your arch rival, no questions, no doubt about it. You beat Cody Garbrandt to win the championship. And then, even a bigger thing, your wife Rebecca gives you a beautiful baby boy.
Yes, yes, man. I mean, 2017 was great. I mean, 2018 has been awesome too to watch him continue to grow and have a character and be just the joy of our life. You know, if I have a hard day training or something's tough, I get to come home, walk in the front door, he smiles at me, and it changes everything. You know.
Fatherhood is beautiful. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. TJ,
Yeah.
obviously, you knocked out Cody in the first fight. You guys are very evenly matched. It's a fight that a lot of people are looking forward to. Let's start with this. Do you expect the fight to be similar to the way it was the last time? Do you expect, Cody to come after you the same way he did last time?
Yes and no. You know, you train for all situations. You can't go out there expecting just one thing because game plans always change, man. I mean, that's what makes you the best in the world is that you can fight anything. You can take the fight anywhere. If I need to take him down, I will. You know, if I feel like, which I know he has big holes in his stand-up game, you know, I'll take advantage of that as well too. So, I mean, when you say evenly matched, I disagree. You know, I feel that I'm a way more well-rounded of a fighter, and I'm going to prove my dominance everywhere. You know, I'm going to go out there and be even more impressive this fight and show that he's even weaker in other areas. So.
Well, the one thing I want to talk about you is, DJ gets a lot of this credit. Demetrious Johnson, the flyweight champ, who is going to be fighting on the show in the co-main event against Henry Cejudo. He's had an incredible streak of 11 consecutive title defenses. Is regarded as the best fighter in the world. In your case, you lost to John Dodson in the Ultimate Fighter finale. You got knocked out. You could have literally run the table in the 6.5 years since. Your two losses in that interim. Rafael Assunção, a lot of people thought you won that fight. I know you believe you won that fight.
Yeah.
Dominic Cruz was a freaking nail biter. I mean, what an incredible fight that was. I think I had Cruz edging it out, but I admit it was.
I'm done with this interview. I'm out.
But I had you against Assunção.
Okay. Okay.
So but I mean, you really could be on this. What would it be? An 11-12 fight winning streak.
Yeah.
You ever look back and go, like does it bug you sometimes when you think about that?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I mean, not only with my name and what I've done in this career, but that's a lot of money taken out of your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously I don't judge my career and what I do off of that, but it obviously is something. I mean, ultimately, yeah, I could be on one of the longest win streaks in UFC history, and in my mind I should be. But guess what? That's not the way it rolled. I had to learn. I had to learn from those mistakes. I learned a lot from that split decision loss against Cruz, and it's coming into my game now. So um, it all happened for a reason.
I want to tell you a story about a conversation I had with Dana White. And Dana, back in the day, Ultimate Fighter, he was always saying this guy's going to be the next so and so. I think Philippe Nova was going to be the next Anderson Silva. There was always somebody that he was comparing to. Dana's a promoter, and he's trying to push stars. And I remember when you were going into the finals, and he was talking about you and just talking about how good you were overall, and and raving about you. And I'm like, yeah, come on. And when you lost, I said, "See, Dana, what I said." Then your fight that we had a conversation afterwards, which I thought was funny, was YL Watson, and
Oh,
to me that was the fight right after, and you just had a dominant performance in that. The first round, if I remember correctly, you took him down like 15 seconds into the fight, and you kept him down. And Dana said to me afterwards, "You changed your opinion of that kid?" And I said, "I think I have." That was that. But coming back from a loss like that, TJ, do you think the way that you fought that fight said something about your character and the kind of fighter you were, that you were able to come back immediately after a tough loss and be so dominant?
yeah, man. Just like I said, you have to learn from your losses. I learned a lot from that fight as well. I was going to that fight 4-0 with 3 wins off the Ultimate Fighter, so really 7-0, thinking I was invincible. I was a 3-1 favorite going in to beat Dotson, be the Ultimate Fighter champion. I went out there and I tried fighting a aggressive fight on my feet when I wasn't a kickboxer yet. I didn't have the years of experience. I was a wrestler. Let's be honest. I'd been training for a year. And I was beating everyone with my wrestling, and I just felt I was feeling too confident about skills that I didn't really have yet. And so going out there that Walla Watson fight, I wanted to go out there and show my wrestling. I learned from that and be like, all right, let's continue to get better at our stand up, but let's win these fights and be smart about it. So that's why I went out there fighting a tall, rangy fighter, supposed to be a striker. So I was like, let's put him on his back and beat him up. A lesson that I had to learn. Just like with any fight you have throughout your career.
Now, when you win the title, or the first time from Henan Barao, your footwork was so incredible. That was obvious that you were adding things to your game. Did you go into that fight? People were talking about Barao's streak, and he hasn't lost since all that time. And do you have that kind of like sort of sly grin, like you guys are going to be really shocked when you see what happens here?
Yeah, man. I was very confident going into that fight, but it was still like I'm fighting a monster. I was an 8-1 underdog. This guy's been undefeated for 10 years. Blah 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 blah. So obviously I still had that in the back of my head. So that's why I fought him so cautious and probably used all my angles and wanted to make sure that I was away from danger. But I got to go in that fight with no pressure on me. With being such a big underdog, you need to go in there and just prove everyone wrong. Because no one's even giving me a shot. And no chance in heck was I going to beat Renan Barao. And so all I had to go out there is go and prove that I was better than everyone thought, let alone go out there and prove that I'm going to demolish the guy.
How much of a motivation is that when the odds are against you? You guys fight and there's people betting on your fights, right? So when you see, hey, he's 8-1, do you pay attention to that? Does it get you a little bit like, what's wrong with you guys?
I wouldn't say I paid so much against the betting odds, but obviously throughout my interviews, you get the vibe. So yeah, that motivates me. Like, you're fighting Renan Barao. Like, how do you feel about it? This guy's been undefeated for 10 years, blah, 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 blah. Like, obviously that plays in your head. Like, okay, this is the way everyone's feeling. These are the vibes that are out there. And so, yeah, that definitely motivates you. Like, all right, I'm going to show you guys. And especially me, because I'm a very competitive person. That, like, if you're going to doubt me, I'm going to go above and beyond.
You have gone above and beyond in your career. I mean, the list of guys you have fought, the greatest 135ers there is. I mean, it's been amazing. But do you feel like this Cody Garbrandt fight, you have to get this? Because if you don't get it, you're probably going to see him again somewhere. And does it take away a little bit? If you win this one, no question, people are going to say TJ is clearly the better fighter. If he wins it, even if it's a fluke one punch, I think now all of a sudden it puts you in a realm where you're going to rematch and you have that whole thing going on.
I would think there's no questions about it, and it's not about I need to. It's that I'm when I do. That's the only way I think. When I beat Cody, sweet. This chapter's shut. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it.
It was really nasty last time between you two. There was a lot of talk going on. I guess Cody did more talking than you, but both of you guys, were chattering each other. There was secret films released, and at least to my way looking this time, it hasn't been quite as nasty. Do you feel that way? Has it been easier to deal with, all the outside stuff, this time rather than the first time?
Absolutely, man. Like, I had to teach him a lesson. Sometimes you got to put people in check, And so he learned a lesson. I knocked his ass out. I don't have to go and find gym footage of like finding Bigfoot where you can hardly see what's going on of supposedly him beating me. Mine's on national TV, me knocking you out and screaming in your face. So he's obviously not going to want to look that way again. The last fight was me defending myself. So yeah, I could be a complete jerk, get out there, run my mouth, and talk about me knocking him out and him looking like an idiot. But you know, it's not my road. The way I do it is by going out there and knocking you out again and doing it impressively. I've always been a very aggressive fighter. I'll defend myself, but just comes out there with confidence and knocking you out.
I'm always one of the guys that likes the super fights, right? I love Stipe versus DC. I love to see the champion versus champion. I think it gets everybody jacked up and who's the best fighter in the world. And that really is the way you prove it when you get guys into joining weight classes. I know you probably disagree, but myself and most people look at DJ as the greatest fighter in the world right now. You wanted to fight Demetrious earlier than this, but on this show. That didn't happen. From your standpoint, why did the fight not happen?
I don't disagree with you that Demetrious Johnson's the best fighter. That's why I want to fight him. That's because I believe that's my name. That's going to be who I am after I beat him. he is a great fighter, and I don't want to fight him because I don't think he is. I want to fight him because I respect the guy. The reason why it didn't happen is just timing, accepting things, money. I mean, there's a lot of moving factors. We were lining this thing up, and then 2 days later, he had to get shoulder surgery. So with that going down, obviously UFC wanted to look for the next attractive position. Is me fighting Cody. There's a lot of hype going behind this. We had a great fight, a lot of attention, a lot of drama. So that was like, all right, DJ's out because we were getting lining it up. We were talking, doing it. He had to get shoulder surgery. We'll see. We'll see if that the stars are aligning. We're both fighting the same night now. He gets through his tough fight with Cejudo. I knock out Cody. We'll see if everyone gets what they want because I want that fight. The fans know I want it. The UFC knows I want it. Demetrious knows I want it. So we'll see.
I don't know if Dana would let this happen, but I want to throw this at you. Would you be willing to do this? So obviously, if you could put both belts at stake, so you have to weigh 125, but your belt, your 135 belt, would be at stake as well as the 125 belt, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree to that? Because now 2 belts are at stake. So if DJ beats you, he's the bantamweight and if you beat him, you're the flyweight and bantamweight.
Yeah, let's put it all on the line. That's why we do this. That's why we do this sport. Like, let's make this thing fun.
Now, the one thing DJ mentioned a while ago was that you hadn't made the weight at 125, and that's a good point, right? And you're a good in shape guy. You don't look like you have a ton to give there. How would you be able to do that going to 125? Would you be able to get 10 pounds somewhere?
Absolutely, man. I already know that I can. So when we were talking, so when Cody got hurt and we were supposed to fight in July of 2017, I told Dana, I was like, look, I need to fight. I want to fight for the belt. Look, I'll drop to 25s. I want to fight Demetrious Johnson. Let's get it done. He loved it. He's like, let's do it. He's like, all right, cool. So for 4 weeks, I was training to go to 125s. I was waking up at 140 pounds within 4 weeks.
Wow.
That's only 15 pounds overweight. And that's just because of the way that I'm training my body. I throughout my whole camp train a certain way to be 135 pounds. Of course, I'm going to be lean because I work hard, but I put a lot of muscle on. I'm not a big 135 pounder, but I put the weight on and I do it the right way. The coach that I have, Sam Calavita, out of the training lab, he can get me to 125s. He can do it. I'll be powerful. I'll be strong. I just got to change my body composition, train a little bit differently. If you do it the right way, sure, it's going to take a little bit of time and it's not going to be fun, but it'll be great. It's a test. And that's what I want to do is I want to test myself in this sport.
I want to throw one more question at you about that. I mean, obviously he has made it many times, and we know what his speed and quickness is, and what his strengths and weaknesses are at that weight. You won't know until the fight. Is that a disadvantage?
Maybe. I mean, I've never tested myself at the weight class. I've held myself low in practice and felt great. But I've never made 125 pounds, so it's definitely a little bit of unknown territory. I haven't been 125 pounds since my freshman year in college, which was 2004 or 5. So it's a little bit of a disadvantage, but I still believe myself enough to get it done. And the way I felt waking up at 140 pounds, there's no issues.
I don't want you to feel bad though. I haven't been 125 since 8th grade. That's a long time ago.
So, man. Yeah, but see, like I was hoping I was be 125 pounds. In 8th grade, I probably weighed 90 pounds, like a little guy. So, always having that small man complex. Still got it.
A couple other things here. This fight, I'm not sure what to expect pay-per-view wise, right? It's hard to understand what people are going to like. I mean, you got 2 great fights at the top of the show. An arch rival fight in the main event. You got the greatest fighter in the world in the co-main event against an Olympic gold medalist. And yet, neither of you guys have been big pay-per-view draws like a Conor McGregor is or like a Ronda Rousey is. Do you think by putting you on the same show that may, down the road, if you both come out on top, help build that pay-per-view where you can make some dough out of it when you do finally meet?
Yeah, man, we're gonna do great. I think the show will be just fine. I think it's a very, very big, highly touted fight. I think this show will be just fine. Which will continue to build my and Demetrious' story. So ultimately, yes, I think this is a great thing.
One of the things that I found from people who sell pay-per-view, you get out there, not only are they great fighters and they got to have something unique about them, but they got to do a lot of this, right? Ronda Rousey did 1 million interviews, right? Conor McGregor did 1 million. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, they have to do that. Do you feel like, do you want to give up that much of your time to be able to say, hey, I'm going to push it from 200 or 300,000 to a half a million or 750,000? I mean, because that's going to take you being away from home a lot to do that.
It's tough, man. You have to really appreciate what those people have put in behind it. When you even have to do the little bit that you have to do, you're like, dang, what if you were Connor? What if you had to do all the crap he does? Yeah, sure, he's very smart, witty, and talks a lot of crap, but he does constantly promote himself. It is a lot of work, and I am a family man. I love being home, and I love having the life that I have. So it's something you got to weigh out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got to weigh out those options. I mean, this little guy over here, he's running laps around me right now. I'm on baby duty, so I get to do my interviews right now and watch my son.
And he takes care of himself. Look at that. I tell you,
Yeah,
you talk
absolutely.
about a multitasker. TJ Dillashaw is it. Well, we won't keep you too much longer. Let's just go find out how does the fight end? Do you knock him out again? Do you feel like it'll be a different type of fight? Take us through how this fight ends in your mind.
I know I'm finishing the fight. The great part about this is that there's so many options for me. I already beat him at his game. I knocked him out in the pocket. I don't think he's got a chin. I can finish that fight that way, and I will be looking for it. I will be looking for the knockout because it's a very satisfying thing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very highly confident about my wrestling and my jiu-jitsu. That's why going into this fight, I can add new wrinkles to it. I can challenge him. I can keep him guessing, and we'll see. We'll see if I can prove my dominance everywhere.
If the Cody that fought Dominic Cruz, I have so much respect for Dominic Cruz and think he's an incredible fighter and what he's done, one of the great fighters of all time. If the Cody who beat Dominic Cruz and he beat him in a wide
Yeah,
manner
yeah.
comes to this fight, do you win the fight?
Absolutely. Dominic Cruz did not fight a good fight. He didn't fight like himself. I mean, you can see it out there. He actually tried knocking him out. He tried fighting aggressive, and that's not how Dominic fights. He didn't fight his fight. He fought Cody's fight, and that's why he lost. Which was crazy to me with him being the smarter guy. He let the emotions get to him. And I was very surprised about that because I thought it was going to be the other way around. So yeah, I think he can bring that same guy. I think that is who Cody is, but Dominic just didn't play the right fight.
Champ, we are going to let you get back to baby duty. We appreciate it. TJ
Yeah,
Dillashaw, the Bantamweight champ, UFC 227. Good luck next week.
awesome. Thank you very much.
See you, my friend.